like right now. Oh, I think this means that I'm live now. How nice. I'm gonna go share the link on Twitter if I can even find this. Yeah, it's a real pain in the ass to do this because I don't know why. Whoa, geez. Okay. Copy. Now we're going to Twitter. Yeah. Oh, and this is gonna be another one of those things. It's a Genesis streams, which means that I'm doing thing where I show you what I've been reading and what I've gotten, and you guys watch because you don't have anything else better to do. I don't have anything better to do myself. So yeah, now I'm back here. Got 0 viewers. Awesome. All right. Hold on. I want to check something really quick. Sweet. Awesome. I'm gonna minimize this. This is confusing. Oh crap. Jesus. Fuck. Alright, whatever. I guess I'll check here and there for viewers. Oh sweet, 2 viewers. How nice. Howdy, Manga Madness. Yeah, I guess I'll start now. Real quick though, I want to introduce my new assistant. Oh, I'm barely in the camera. How nice. Unprofessional. This is my new assistant. He doesn't have a name yet, but he's a chimney sweep. And he's one of those nutcracker things. So, he's my new assistant. If you have any questions that I cannot answer, ask him. He's a very nice guy. He doesn't say a whole lot though, but he'll attempt to do that. So yeah, the first segment is stuff that I've gotten. But this first wave of it, whoa, is none of it is anime or manga. We got books and DVDs of other stuff. And I'm showing these off because I don't care. This isn't exclusively an anime channel. That was my main channel. But yeah. So first up is a book that I've read a couple times in my childhood and that I recently reread, and then I found it for free. So I took it because I love it. And it's called The Fire Within. It's by a man named Chris DeLacy. It's about clay dragons. Some college guy goes to be a tenant at some lady's house, and she is a sculptor. Oh, by the way, can you guys hear the audio? No one's complaining or anything, so it seems that the audio will be fine. So yeah. Anyway, it's a children's story. Oh, and the clay dragons come back to life, and they do stuff. So it's a cute little story, and I like it. Not going to talk a whole lot about it. Oh, crap. Whatever. Next, we got this other book I got. I got a lot of these for free because people are nice. Got Timeline by Michael Crichton. This dude made Jurassic Park. Haven't read it yet, but it was free. Looks good. I like reading books. Speaking of Jurassic Park, I got Jurassic Park. Movies are alright. I don't like the second and third ones that much. They're kind of boring. But the first one is pretty good. And the book is what came first. It's based on a book, and the book deviates a lot from the movie. So I think I'm gonna enjoy reading it a lot. Oh yeah, real quick reminder. Well, not really reminder. Upcoming video on this channel, the second one, is I'm doing a collection video because I like doing that. So yeah, I already recorded it though, so it's gonna be uploaded about a week. Then I got this random choose your own adventure book. I remember I used to read these. Oh, it's called The Trumpet of Terror. I used to read these a lot as a kid, and they're pretty cool because you read one page and it tells you to go to another page, and you read that page and you like make a choice about which page you're going to go to. It's kind of cool. It's like a RPG in a way, role playing game. Yeah, haven't read it yet. Then we got a Stephen King novel called Insomnia. Uh, I actually bought this. This wasn't for free, um, but I got it cheap at a used bookstore. I like some Stephen King stuff. I really liked the book Carrie, and I liked the movie The Shining a lot. That was a really good movie. And this looks good. I didn't like some other stuff of his though. I didn't like The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. I didn't like The Dark Tower, or the first book in that series, and I didn't care for Misery that much. I think that's it. But yeah, solid guy, I guess. Then I found this fucking Doom book. So, I mean, it's the fourth one, but it's fucking Doom. So, Doom is a old video game, if you didn't know. What the hell is that? Okay. Oh shit, forgot. We got a VHS tape. I found this. It's a Charade. It's a movie I actually really like. I've seen it before. It's really good. It's kind of very similar to The Naked Gun, um, but it's not as like humorous. It's kind of a bit quirky, but it's not and it is a comedy film, but it's not as funny as The Naked Gun. The Naked Gun is fucking hilarious, but yeah, Charade. I've been wanting to get some VHS tapes for a while just because, I don't know, my parents have a VHS player and some VHS tapes themselves. So I thought it would be kind of cool to have that. Speaking of VHS tapes, I got one more. It's called The Exorcist. Basically, all the dialogue is boring, but the scenes with the possessed girl is all funny and cool and shit. And, I'd rewatch it again in a few years, mainly for the possessed girl because the dialogue's boring. Surprisingly watchable, though, with all the boring dialogue. I'm someone who gets pretty bored if it's just boring dialogue. Like the movie Jackie Brown was pretty boring, but also kind of interesting. Yeah. Next, I got this book called The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. The reason I picked this up, it was for free, by the way, but no, this wasn't for free. I bought this, but for really cheap, and it was because I'm gonna be reading the first one entitled "The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo" at some point, and this is like the third one, I think. Oh shit! I got a text message. I'm not gonna answer it because I'm busy. Oh. On you guys. You guys feel loved. Next, I got this awesome thing called Slumdog Millionaire. This is actually the novel that the movie is based off of, and it was originally entitled Q&A, but then they retitled the book for some reason because it was based off the movie. I guess to get more revenue, I guess, because Q&A, Slumdog Millionaire, quite different variation in title choice. I wish they kept it as Q&A though. I liked that I like differentiating stuff. I originally thought this was like a novelization of the movie, and then I saw that it was originally published as Q&A. Yeah. By the way, I fucking love the movie Slumdog Millionaire. I have it on Blu-ray somewhere over there. It's really good. I recommend it. All right, next we got some comic books. Yeah. Got American Splendor 1 and 2. Let me show this in better detail. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's basically a slice of life, but in comic book form. It follows this man. Oh, no. It follows this man named Harvey. He basically made this comic book about his own life. and it's a slice of life, but not a manga. It's a fucking comic book, and it's pretty good. My dad gave these to me. He'd gotten them a few years ago, and I had read them back then, and I liked them, and now I have them. So I guess that's cool. I'd rather get a trade paperback at some point, because I don't like having flimsy comic books, because like I don't know, I just prefer having an actual book. If you feel me. Then my friend gave me this one. What's it called? The Gentle Conqueror. It's some romance novel. Uh, I'm open-minded enough to give it a shot. I mean, it's obviously a romance though, but yeah. We all need a strong guy in our lives to dick us down. Oh, another Stephen King. We got Dolores Claiborne, or Claiborne. It's probably pronounced differently, but yeah, I don't know. I just got it because Stephen King. I'm interested in his stuff. There's a big chance that I won't like it. As I mentioned earlier, I haven't liked half the stuff I read by him. Finally, for books, and definitely not last, I mean least. My favorite book in this whole pile, well, at least that I've read, is Marilyn Manson's autobiography, The Long Hard Road Out of Hell, with Neil Strauss. Marilyn Manson is probably my favorite musician. He's incredible. He's been around since the 90s, or technically 80s. I'm going to put this down here. Basically tells his life up until 1998, which is around, I think it stopped before Mechanical Animals came out. Yeah, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about Marilyn Manson because, people are picky about music. A lot of people don't like to talk about music for some reason. Plus, not everyone's into Manson, and I don't really even know what to say right now. That's the real reason. I don't know what to say, but covers his early life to his the year 1998. So it's pretty. You really delve into his upbringing, a lot of what inspired him as a youth. If you're interested in his music and his messages, definitely give it a shot. Yeah, so now we got some DVDs. We got this double feature, The Incredible Hulk, which features the first two movies that act as a sequel to the 70s television show The Incredible Hulk, starring Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno. And the movies are The Incredible Hulk Returns and The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. Now, I've only watched this one so far, and it's been pretty cool. Basically, he meets up with Thor. Yeah, a first for this series of having other superheroes. Should probably be talking into the mic. It was good, but not as good as the show, but still pretty good. I mean, the show, it doesn't really work as well if it's an hour and a half instead of just 45 minutes, I find, but that's fine. I'll watch the trial soon, and we got the third and final one. Who the hell could be here ringing my door bell? Shit, I'm scared. Yeah, whatever. The Death of the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, it's the final one. They were gonna make more, but then Bill Bixby, the actor, died. So that's unfortunate. I guess it was just like a package being dropped off. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. I haven't watched it yet, obviously, since I haven't watched the second one. But it should be cool because I fucking love the show. The show is my favorite show, live action television show. Yeah. Then we got some Family Guy. We got Volume 1 on DVD. We got Volume 2, which I think all the first 3 seasons are covered in these two. Then here's where I went kind of stupid. I have Volume 3, but it's in this stupid thick thing with a bunch of slim packs in it. I bought these all at the same used bookstore. They had volumes 1, 2, 4, and 6. I should have just gone with 6 because they also had a bunch of these, the thicker ones, rather than opposed to these plastic ones. These ones are better because they're thinner, conserve resources, I also got volume 4. I should have just gone with volume 6 though, because I already watched the whole show. I don't plan on rewatching it anytime soon, at least not a lot. And it's a fucking amazing show. I should have just gone with volume 6 though, instead of volume 3. I'll replace it someday, and it's no big deal, but I love the show. Oh shit, some comments. Cool, I've been wanting to see a collection vid. Yeah, it'll be up about a week. Missing this because I'm in school. Oh shit. Sorry, dude. I don't have school right now. I graduated. Okay, I didn't have to go. Yeah. Yeah. Tiddlywinks has that same problem. So yeah. School sucks. Anyway, that's enough Family Guy. And this is the final non-anime thing. We got, for Christmas, I got this. It was the first 4 seasons of SpongeBob. Yeah, my younger brother and I have been rewatching these episodes. This is what I believe the best of SpongeBob is. I think the first 3 seasons are regarded as the best, because I think that's when, then after season 3 they made the movie, and then that was good, and then it started going downhill. But I remember I liked the first 4 seasons. But yeah, SpongeBob's awesome. Most kids watched SpongeBob as a kid. I didn't actually start watching it until I was in 3rd grade. I never really had an interest in it. Most cartoons on Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon I didn't watch. Most shows, I didn't watch Kim Possible and shit. I never cared for any of that. But around 3rd grade I just kind of started watching it. Around the time I started watching Pokemon. I remember I really only watched Scooby-Doo back then, before anything else. It was my favorite. I still like it. Oh, that's it? Well, not it. Now it's time for anime and manga stuff. Yay! Alright, so we'll start with some anime. So I got Welcome to the NHK on DVD. It's the save version. Which I'm fine with. I don't care about collector's editions and shit. This is one of my favorite anime. This and The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. I love both of them. I've already talked about these in past videos, but I have the manga and I have the novel. And I just bought this now, but I've been watching it for years. I recently finished rewatching it for the 6th time, and it's as good as ever. I still love it. Still watch it all the way through without getting bored. Truly the sign of a favorite. So I highly recommend it. Yeah. It's finally good to have it on DVD. Then we got Yu Yu Hakusho Season 1. Oh no! Shit. Season 2. Season 3. And I already had Season 4. That's why I got the first 3, because I had the 4th season because I found it at a garage sale for $1. but I didn't have any of the first seasons, so I had actually asked someone to get me the first season for Christmas, and they gave me all the first three, which was pretty cool. But also kind of like now I really hope I like it because I only wanted the first one. Because like, what if I don't even like it? And then you just got me all this for a lot of money, probably not $1, but yeah. Don't really have anything to say about it. Just I plan on watching it at some point soon. Um, yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. Great times. Now on to some manga. I say some, but there's actually quite a bit. First off, we've got The Electric Tale of Pikachu, Volume 1. I saw this at a used bookstore, and basically, the Electric Tale of Pikachu is a 4-volume series about Pokemon. It's basically a retelling of the anime, I think. Because the Pokemon Adventures manga is based off the video games as opposed to the anime, whereas this is based off of the anime as opposed to the video games. Maybe technically based on the video games by proxy, but you know, it's based off the anime. That's the source material for it. And I got volumes 1 and 2. This is the complete series of Cowboy Bebop, Shooting Star. This was made before the anime was made, so I'm reading it first, and then I'm watching the anime, and then I'll read the second manga that they made that was not as good, but I have 2 volumes of that as well, so whatever. Then I finally got Lone Wolf and Cub Volume 1. I've had like 6 and 7 for years because I'm stupid and buy stuff that I don't need. Well, I don't do that anymore. I'm a good man now. Hopefully I like this. I haven't read it yet. Oh, by the way, I'm showing the stuff that I have not yet read, and then I'm segueing into the manga that I got recently that I have read, and then just into the other stuff that I've read and watched. So, yeah. Then we got Ajin Demi-Human Volumes 1 and 2. I don't really have much to say. Just I hope they're good. I'm actually kind of regretting buying them because it's an ongoing series. So even if I do like it, it's going to be a while till I finish it. I don't really like to go out and buy series that are ongoing still because I like to just read it all at once. But what can you do? I already spent the money. Then Dragon Drive Volume 1. I don't really know why I bought it, but I bought it. Hopefully it's good. It was cheap though, so it's all good. Remember I was talking about those free books I got? Well, I got another one. It was Naruto, the Innocent Heart Demonic Blood thing. Basically, I think it's a novelization of the first few chapters. Probably just gonna sell this at some store so I can get some actual manga, but I guess it's worth showing for now. Right there. Then I got also for free Shaman King Volume 26, just because I have some of the volumes. I liked it, I think, but it's been a long time. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go back and reread those ones that I have. And, yeah, if I like it, when I go back and reread it, I'm going to read most of it from the library because I'm starting to do that more. I'm realizing that I don't really need to buy everything that I want to read. It would probably be best just to read the stuff and then buy them if I like it, which is probably a common sense thing, but I'm fucking weird. And we got Chobits 1 through 3. I loved the anime a few years back. So I've always wanted to get the manga, and I saw these really cheap, so I bought them. and hopefully they're good. And then I got the second omnibus of the Shinji Ikari Raising Project. Oh, I should probably turn this light on. There we go. Haven't read it yet. But I remember the first time I had read this series back like 4 or 5 years ago. I had read the first 5 volumes, and this finishes up all of that. This has 3 through 6, so I guess that's cool. All right. First thing, here we go. We've got The Ghost in the Shell by Shiro Masamune. It's a classic, a science fiction classic. I don't really have much to say on it, though. They're making a new movie of it in the US. It's huge, by the way. I'm kind of struggling to hold it. Yeah, I had the second volume from a few years ago, but haven't read it yet. I attempted to read this, but I wasn't really in the mood for it at the time, so I'm gonna wait till later. Hopefully it's good, because I spent probably, well, not a lot of money, but I mean, I spent money on it. Kind of want to maximize the enjoyment of all the stuff I'm buying. Put that there. All right. I need water. Water's good for you, man. All right. So the first Shinji Ikari Raising Project Omnibus. I forget if I showed it last time, so that's why I'm showing it again. Also, I tried to read it, but it wasn't as good as I remember it being, so that kind of sucks. I'm keeping it around, though, because I'll try it again at some other point. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood. I don't know. But, something's happening to my computer. How about you run that later? Yeah. It's basically a parody of the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion, but it's like a slice of life love triangle between Shinji, Rei, and Asuka. So it could be funny, but not at the time I read it, unfortunately. Then we got the legendary edition of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This includes both parts. They're making a bunch of these, well, 5. They're all 2-in-1s. I think they've recently made the third one. I also have the second one here, which includes the Oracle of Seasons and of Ages. And I have not read this one yet, but I have read this one. Well, these are rereads. I've read these many years back. And I'm proud to say that it's as good as I remember. Thankfully, I loved it. It's very impressive with the artwork. The artwork is beautiful. Yeah. It's I'm not gonna explain the story because I mean it's based on the video games. It's basically the same plot as that, and I don't really want to go into all that. But it's really good. I remember I first read it right after I started reading Pokemon Adventures, which is what really got me into manga. Yeah, it's awesome. Some people don't like it because a lot of it's rushed, I guess. Well, obviously, if it's a whole game in 2 volumes or 1 in some of the case of the others, yeah, it's gonna be a bit rushed. But I mean, I still think it's good. Yeah. Gross. Actually, that's kind of hot. Then we got Monster, the Perfect Edition, Volume 1. This includes the first 2 volumes, and it's basically about a guy who's a surgeon. He's like a really good surgeon, and he chooses to save this kid and his sister over the mayor because the mayor's injury was not as bad as theirs, and they're gonna die. And he saved them, and then he gets like demoted for it. But then, like, the kid comes back and starts killing people, except for him because he saved them. So it's pretty much a mystery, um, psychological mystery. I think it's pretty cool. I recommend it. I'll get more. Um, it was really good. Then we get Blade of the Immortal, the first omnibus that they're making these now. Basically putting 3 volumes in one, in each one, and I think they may have made the second one or even the third one already. But yeah, this was amazing. I loved it. It basically follows this guy. He's a samurai, and he has these immortal worm-like creatures in him that make it pretty much impossible for him to die. And he has to like kill a bunch of bad people to repay his sins of killing a bunch of other people. And this girl helps him because she wants revenge on some people who killed her family. And it's really good. The artwork's amazing. The stories, it's basically episodic, goes chapter to chapter. But it's really good. I don't really know what to say about it other than I plan on getting more as they come out. Even though I think the second one already came out. But what can you do? Finally, for the stuff that I've gotten, it's kind of a big one though. I got the Red and Blue Arc, the Pokemon Adventures box set. The first 7 volumes of the whole series in one box set. I've only actually read the first volume so far, or reread, I might say instead. Because, yeah, as I said earlier, this is the manga that got me into manga. I've always had the second arc, but I never had the first arc in my possession. This one, it wasn't as good as I recall, but still pretty good, and I'm going to be reading more of that soon. Yeah, I have a pretty big backlog, and yeah, it's real classic. Not really much else to say. So that's all I've gotten. Now I'm going to talk about what I've been watching and reading. First, though, I have this list of manga I've gotten rid of because I'm actually going through a purge of my collection, getting rid of all the stuff I don't like and keeping all the stuff I did like. And I already got rid of some of the ones I didn't like that I knew I didn't like, knew I wasn't going to get into, stuff like that. So I got rid of Neotopia 1 through 3. I got rid of Air Gear volumes 1 and 10. I got rid of Tiger and Bunny volumes 1 and 2. Magic Knight Rayearth volume 6. Duel Masters volume 2. And I also got rid of my volumes of Bakuman and Zelda and Fruits Basket because I was already going to be getting them in a different edition. And, you know, I would have been selling them eventually anyway, because with Bakuman, I had 2 and 3, but I had planned on getting the box set, so I'd be replacing them basically. And the Zelda, I'm buying those again in the legendary editions because they're cooler, and I don't know, I just would like those more, I think. And Fruits Basket, they're making omnibuses for. It was volume 4, I think. So I'd rather just get those. And I also got rid of my Right Stuff catalogs. I just threw those away. Oh shit! I also I had this like Pokemon Pocket Guide that Viz released, but I sold that too because I don't need that. It's basically they're trying to bank on the series pretty much. With those, and there were a couple foreign volumes that I think they were from Thailand, and I sold those too because I don't plan on reading Thailand. It's not like Japanese, where like it's kind of cool. But I mean, I guess it is kind of cool, but you know, whatever. So yeah, now let's get into this manga that I've read. Um, First up is a volume I've had for a while. It's called Maison Ikoku. It's by the girl who made Inuyasha and Ranma 1/2. Her name is Rumiko Takahashi. This is volume 1. These are actually pretty out of print, pretty rare, but I found this for $1 at a used bookstore. I set this down. Uh, it was all right. Um, it's basically about this guy. He lives in an apartment building, one of those like small apartment buildings with like one lead owner and manager and whatnot, and a couple other people. And it takes place all there. There's also this. Oh, and the guy is a college student who tends to fail all his exams, and it's basically a humorous comedy romance because the old manager moves out and is replaced by this good-looking young woman, um, and he kind of likes her, and that's the whole basic premise. There's also some other people who live there. There's this like model who's also a waitress, and there's some like young man who's like a peeping tom, and there's some middle-aged woman with her 6-year-old son, and there's also the manager's dog. And it's just kind of humorous but kind of boring for me. If they all weren't out of print, I'd probably enjoy it a bit more, just because, or I'd have more incentive to get more, but I don't really have any incentive at all. It was pretty boring, not really something I was interested in. Next, I read a one-shot called Angel Nest by Erika Sakurazawa, who is a prominent Josei mangaka. And this is a Yuri, or like a, not really like explicitly, but it's like appealing to that demographic, if you know what I mean. Basically, this woman comes home from work and finds her husband fucking another woman, and then she's not really upset about it though, and he's all like, "We need to get a divorce because I like this woman a lot more." And that happens. They get a divorce, and the woman that he was, shagging, uh, she doesn't really like him. He's always following her and is creepy, and so she comes back to the woman because the husband or the ex-husband will never think to look there, and they kind of just start living together, and it's kind of cool, I guess. Um, yeah, not really much to say. And there were a couple other short stories in here toward the end, just some kind of romantic stories. It was good. I liked it. It's a quick read. It's a one shot, and I plan on getting more of her stuff. It's just kind of nice to read some Yuri. Yeah, I'll get more of those. Next one is called Lament of the Lamb. I only read volume 1 because I only have volume 1. But based on reading this, I think I will get the rest of the series. It's basically this guy. He lives with his uncle and aunt, and he starts like turning into a vampire. I think that's what happened. I forget. It's been a while. He's had a bit of a troubled past. His sister has been separated from him his whole life, but they find each other, and they start chilling. Turns out they're all vampires, and that's. I mean, I don't remember a whole lot about it. This was many months ago that I read this, but yeah, I'll get more. And next, got Girls Bravo 1 and 2. I only actually read like half of volume 1, and I hated it. It was terrible. It's like this harem romance comedy sort of thing. It's boring. It's fucking terrible and boring. So, yeah. I don't recommend it. I'm not even going to tell you about the story. You'll have to look that up yourself because it's so bad. Finally, we got Detroit Metal City Volume 1. Code Provider recommended this a few years ago, I think. And this was fucking boring. It was terrible. I got so bored from it, and I don't want to get any more of it. So that's unfortunate. Yeah. Now let's talk about some anime. Oh, I should also mention a couple other titles that I read from the library since I'm doing that now. First up, we got Razafon, which inspired, or I think it's based off an anime. It's basically a mecha anime. Some people, this guy and his adopted sister, um, they get captured because he's the pilot, even though he doesn't know it, of this mecha that's destined to save the world from some infiltrators. And basically, it's how it goes. It was not that good. There were a lot of serious moments that were just obviously trying to be depressing, but it was just drawn so badly and poorly written that it was just hilarious. Like this one girl was like wounded, or no, she got killed, and then like the guy starts crying over her, but it looks so bad. It's terrible. Um, so I'm glad I didn't buy it and instead read it from the library. Another one was King of Thorn. It's a really out of print Tokyo Pop series, and basically these people infected with a disease that turns them into stone. They all go into this sleep chamber so they can wait there until a cure is discovered, and they wake up before that even happens, and there's all these monsters and all these thorny vines covering the whole island, and this girl who had to go in without her twin, who also had the disease. So she's sad about that. She wakes up, and there's also this one guy who he's really buff, and he kind of leads the way. And there's this other buff, kind of big guy, and then there's this little kid named Tim, and this woman who used to be an alcoholic mother is also there, and she's recovering from that, and she feels sad about all that. And there's also some senator dude. Basically, they're trying to survive, so it's kind of cool. Really good, actually. Oh, also Akira. I tried to read that, but it was boring, so I stopped. I don't think I'm going to continue with that. All right, so for anime, we got Speed Grapher. I read this on you. I mean, I watched this on YouTube because Funimation uploaded it, so I watched it. It was kind of good. It was basically this photographer who used to photograph, like he was in the army, but he was a photographer. He didn't fight. He took pictures of people dying, pretty much. And now he starts taking pictures of like other stuff because the war has long been over. And this organization, basically a fetish cult, is using this girl, hypnotizing her, and she grants them their wishes, and he has to help her escape. So it's kind of good. I don't really remember a whole lot because this was back in November I saw this, but yeah. Next we got Rainbow. Let's see, Rainbow Nisha Rokubo no Shichinin, I believe. Mr. Ragekeepers recommended me this anime a long time ago, and I had watched like half of it and then kind of stopped, even though I didn't drop it. I just kind of stopped watching it, and I recently rewatched what I had watched already, and then finished it finally, and it was pretty good. It wasn't one of my favorites. I definitely prefer the first half, um, with Ishihara, the sadistic prison guard. Basically, it's about these kids, these youth, like 16 and 17-year-olds. I think there's like six. Yeah, there's six of them, and they get sent into this like basically jail where they're treated like scum by the guards and shit, and also society hates them, as you'll see. Um, but they get put in this cell with this one other dude who's like a bit older and a lot stronger than all of them, and he kind of disregards them at first, and they attack him, and he kicks all their asses. So then they all like form a bond, and they pretty much it's about them going through their hardships together, strong bonds of friendship. It's a lot about friendship. Really, it's pretty good. Um, my favorite character though was Ishihara, the sadistic prison guard. Um, he was just really interesting. I liked his character. I wish they had him in the second half, but they don't, unfortunately. I need water. Mm. Yeah. So I would recommend it. This one isn't actually anime, but it is kind of related. I watched the movie Kill Bill. It's very Japanese and anime inspired, martial art movies. It's inspired by those. Basically, this woman gets she has attempted murder on her by her old trainer, because she used to be a fighter, like with swords and shit. And his name is Bill, and he tries to have her killed, but she survives, and then goes back to get revenge on all of them. And she uses swords and stuff. It's a fun martial arts movie. I recommend it. Only mentioning it though because it's inspired by all that. I'll briefly mention that I did watch the complete series of Dexter, which is a live action show about a forensics guy who's also a killer. And I'm just gonna say I liked the first 5 seasons a lot. The 6th, 7th, and 8th ones that finished the series I did not care for as much, but the ending was cool. I watched an anime called Charlotte, and it's basically like X-Men, but for kids. Well, not for kids, but like teens. Like the school is for teens, which I guess the X-Men one is for as well. But yeah, it wasn't great though. I didn't love it. It was kind of just not in that. I'm very picky about anime. Well, pretty much any kind of storytelling medium. I'm picky. Not all of it suits me. That's one thing. That's probably what the problem with this one was. Um, then I watched one. Well, I watched it and then I dropped it because I didn't even like it. It was called Please Teacher. Basically, a guy meets his teacher, his new teacher, who's an alien, and they live next to each other, and then they get married. So yeah, and that's not a spoiler, by the way. That's all in the first episode. They get married, and they basically live together, but they also have to go to school together. And he has to hide it from everybody because she's an alien. She doesn't want anyone to know. She doesn't want to get like tested on and shit. That's gross. So yeah, they got to keep it a secret. But then it gets all like melodramatic about a bunch of like stupid shit. Like I don't know. I don't even remember. Um, just like it's not what I'd hoped for, basically. But I will give it credit where credit is due. It has a great OST, and it's very atmospheric. Kind of like a summer evening sort of anime. All right. There are 2 more movies I want to mention. We got Pacific Rim. Basically, it's inspired by mecha. It's a mecha film, inspired by a lot of stuff like Evangelion and stuff like that. It was good, better than I thought. Not really gonna say much more because I don't want to talk a whole lot about that. And there was another one called Kubo and the Six, or Two Strings, and it was also pretty good. I liked it more than I thought I would because I tend not to like movies very much. Um, it was an anime I tried to watch called Deers, and halfway through the first episode, I realized it was just a shitty ripoff of Chobits, so I dropped it because I didn't even like it. There's one called Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions, and I dropped that because it was boring. And ReZero I tried to watch, but that was boring too. And finally, the we got Usagi Drop, which I actually liked. It was actually good. Basically, this 35-year-old man goes to his grandfather's funeral, and um, it turns out that he has an illegitimate child. The grandfather had a child, and then he died. So there's no one to care for the child because the mother is long gone. And he decides to take care of the child himself and basically goes through their life together as they live it. Except, I think it continues in the manga, but it's basically mostly her just being a young child. It was only like, I think it takes place like the furthest it goes away from wherever was like a few years. Like it spans a few years. Don't think it's gonna be like their whole life. Like it's you know early elementary school stuff, and it's pretty good. Planning to get the manga because I want to find out what happens next. Um, but yeah, that was actually surprisingly fast. Let me check for some other stuff. Oh, people have been commenting. Yeah, Monster. Yeah, Monster's really good. Glad you like it. Top 5. Yeah, I haven't I obviously haven't finished it, so I wouldn't say in my top 5 personally yet. I don't know. I don't think I should make a top 5 sometime. Um yeah, Pokemon is a pretty good read. It's a fun series. It's nothing too serious that you need to um pay too much attention to. Um Yeah, I think for Jose, a lot of vertical Jose are said to be pretty good, and um, I can't think of any. I don't think I've watched or read any other Yuri, um, other than that one. There might have been some, but I can't remember. And yeah, the Akira does look good to me though. So I'd rather just watch the movie. Um, Whenever that happens, I'll probably enjoy it a lot more then. It was just the format was kind of slow for me in the manga, so that's how that goes. So that's really it. I'm Oh, there's one other thing I want to talk about real quick. There's a manga called Dragon Head, which is a survival. I read the first 3 volumes of, but my library didn't have the rest, so I'm gonna have to buy them. Basically, it's about a middle school field trip on a train. The train crashes though, and it's in this tunnel, and basically this kid is the only one alive, but then he finds this other girl who's unconscious and her legs are broken, but she is alive. And there's this other crazy guy who's also alive, a student who was bullied, and it kind of messed him up. Um, Basically, they all have to live together until they're trying to find a way out, obviously, but they have to deal with each other. Um, and it's a gripping survival series, and I plan on continuing it. So yeah, it's the pretty much the overall arcing view of what I've read and watched. Uh, so yeah, that pretty much concludes this. Don't really have much else to say. I'll look at the comments real quick. Have you read The Mysterious Underground Men by Tezuka? I read it today, and I thought it was pretty cool to read such an old manga. I've not actually read that yet. I want to though. I think the only work Tezuka that I've read are let's see. There's Buddha, which is one of my favorite manga. Definitely, it's I'd say in my top three. I need to reread it again though. Blackjack, I've read one volume of that and it was really good. I have another volume of that. I haven't read it yet. I've started Astro Boy a little bit, but I never. I have a lot of Astro Boy volumes, but I didn't read any other than the first two, and it's all right. Not his best work, but still pretty good. I have Ayako, but I've not read it yet. I have Dororo, which was really good actually. It was canceled, but I actually liked it regardless. It's a really good journey, really good story. I'm planning on rereading that at some point. Oh, also there was Next World, and it was pretty good. Basically, it's like a sci-fi. Uh, I got one volume of Blackjack, but I haven't read it yet. Yeah, I recommend it. It's pretty good. I think I don't know which volume you have, but other than starting with volume one, you can pretty much read the series in any order. Because I mean, volume one is basically an introduction. But yeah, other than that, you can read it in any order. Yeah, Ayako does look cool. It's Immortalium's favorite work by his, I think. I think that's all the Osamu Tezuka that I have right now. I pretty much want to get all of his stuff, and read them. Yeah, volume one of Blackjack. That's a good starting point. I have Dororo, read a bit of it, but haven't read it since then. But I really liked it. Yeah, it's really good. I'd say it's probably not in my top 10, but definitely in like one of my favorite works of Tezuka. Um, so yeah, I'll have to do a top 10 or something sometime. Um, I mean, some other favorites of mine. I Am a Hero is one. Let's see. Uzumaki was really good. Lychee Light Club was another really good one. Um, yeah, I'll make a more comprehensive list at some point. And there's Fullmetal Alchemist was another one I really liked. I knew it was really different, and there'll probably never be another manga like it. Yeah, I actually I've heard a little bit about Moo, and it looks really good. Um, I think it's going to be one of the ones I buy in the near future. There's that Apollo's song looks really good. Um, obviously Phoenix would be pretty cool, but a lot of those are really out of print. I think that's either the ones like for what I immediately want to get. Those would be the three if I could. Obviously Phoenix is out of print. Um, but yeah, hope you like the stream, man. Pretty much ends it. Expect a collection video on here in about a week, and yeah, I don't really have anything else planned. I'll work on that top 10 though. I'll probably do some sort of video on that at some point. But yeah, thanks for watching, people. If you're watching from the future, sorry, someone keeps buzzing on my phone. But yeah, this concludes the stream. So I'll see you later. Peace out. Now, how do I stop broadcast?